The Great Barry is back with another football game. This time it's great football for your Sega Master System. And I'm not sure what's going on in this artwork here. Let's see, we have disconnected shoulders, players from opposite teams facing the same direction, and just like a floating hand with a football and a laser beam. How awesome. Let's go ahead and take great football. Let's pop it in my great power base converter and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Great Football was published by Sega and carries a copyright year of 1987. The manual opens with the following: the big game. Great Football is non-stop action on any yard line, and because its play follows real football play so closely, you'll think the NFL has found a new home, your living room. So go for the gusto, because there's no move too sophisticated for this game to handle since you're in control. Play for the conversion with confidence, kick a field goal with accuracy, and tackle a tight end with force, because now you have the speed and agility to be a winner. Great Football is a football game for one or two players with one standard mode of difficulty. For this review, I'm going to assume most viewers understand the basics of American football. Whether you play a single player or two-player game, you only play a single game. There is no season or playoff mode. You pick a team from 6 AFC teams and 6 NFC teams. In a single-player game, you also pick your opponent. Despite the game seemingly copying the NFC and AFC from the NFL, the game is not a licensed NFL game, and the team names, which range from the Sharks to the Dukes, which I hope is G.I. Joe inspired, are fictional. The single-player game is most likely unlike any football game you've ever played before. You start the game in the fourth quarter, already behind your opponent in the score, and your goal is to finish the quarter ahead of them. During the quarter, you will never play defense. However, if you throw an interception, you will be penalized 20 yards, and if you fail to convert a fourth down, you'll be penalized 10 yards, but in both cases, you will revert back to first down. As a matter of fact, the only way for your opponent to add to their score is tackling you for a safety or intercepting the ball in your own end zone for a touchdown. The play selection is also pretty unique. On the Formation Select screen, you have 4 passing plays, 4 rushing plays, and if applicable, a kicking play. Every play will be highlighted one at a time. When your desired play is highlighted, you press the 2 button, but the selection screen will stay up until every single play has been highlighted. Joy. In a 2-player game, the second player will use the same screen to prepare their defense. Sometimes the play will result in a Tecmo Bowl style defensive blitz. After the play selection screen, you'll go back to the field, where sometimes the computer will flip the setup of the play you called. Hiking is automatic. In running plays, your rusher will get the ball and you will move him with the D-pad. In passing plays, once your QB has the ball, you can press 1 to rush without the ability to pass, or use the D-pad to aim and the 2 button to pass and hope somehow a receiver ends up with the ball. Kicking plays are like passing plays, where you use the D-pad to aim your kick and the 2 button to kick. If you score a touchdown, you can kick for an extra point, or you can run a passing or rushing play for a 1-point conversion. That's right, you can run a play, but only for a single point. However, you might find it easier to do that than to actually kick the extra point, since I found kicking for points to be very difficult to aim unless you are exactly in the middle of the field. In a 1-player game, once you score, you automatically go back to receiving a kickoff, even if you took a lead, as long as there's time left in the quarter. 2-player games are full games with both players taking turns playing both sides of the ball. On defense, the second player controls one pre-selected player, which cannot be changed. While on defense, you must tackle the other player to stop them with the 1 or 2 button. Simply touching them does nothing. A perfectly timed press of the 2 button while being in the right spot can get an interception. Sometimes in a 2-player game, once a player catches or intercepts the ball, it can turn into a one-on-one battle with all the other players just kind of standing around. While the 1-player game is only one 15-minute quarter, the 2-player game has all 4 15-minute quarters, but you do get a halftime show. At the end of the game, you get a bland end-of-game recap screen. Ties end in a draw with no overtime. Graphically speaking, for an early football game, it's not too bad looking. It's pretty colorful, and I'm a sucker for halftime shows in early football video games, which sadly only happens in the 2-player game. I just wish it had a victory screen of some sort. Sound and music-wise, I thought the game did an okay job, but the music will repeat a lot. Some additional tunes would have helped. I also like the digitized voices, including the calls of a touchdown and interception. although I couldn't make out what the crowd was chanting. It kind of sounded like Eddie, 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 so maybe they were fans of the late Guerrero. Family friendly wise, the game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if released today. Currently at pricecharting.com, the game has a value of $3 loose, $8 complete, and $15 new. So what did I think of Great Football? This game is honestly one big mess. It almost feels like they published the game with it only being half finished. The way the one-player game is set up is a complete joke. At least you can kind of pick a difficulty by selecting certain opponents, since they all seem to have a predetermined score to start with. But if you pick an opponent with a big score, you might as well forget it, since the game moves pretty slowly. The play selection is a drag, passing is difficult to pull off, and about half the time ends in a sack or interception, and rushing plays are almost always productive since there are no fumbles, but rarely for big games since the defense is full of Deion Sanders speedsters and the offensive runner seems to emulate the speed of William the Refrigerator Perry, at least in the single player game. That means most players will just repeat the process of waiting for the play selection screen to finish, rush for 6 to 12 yards, and repeat that until they score 4 minutes later. And that is a drag. Oh, and the kicking stinks, your teammates are useless blockers, and the two-player game is way too long. So where am I going to rank Great Football? Honestly, this is the first Master System game I've reviewed that I really don't want to ever play again. So out of the 7 games I've now reviewed for the Sega Master System, this one is being sacked into the 7th position. Great Football isn't, but that's just my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me both on the Facebook and the Twitter. Click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. And sign up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer to support the show and gain access to exclusive perks, including being able to have input on what systems and games I cover. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and beware of games that call themselves great.